Hey everybody, I'm Shane McNeil, and I create Champion Stylist and Champion Salon. I am here today to talk about what it's like to work in a high-end salon. I'm going to give some comparisons. Uh, I will make some comparisons to salon suites because I know that they're super popular right now. And what I'm not going to compare to is an average commission salon. So today, when I talk about high-end salons, they are going to be commission salons, but it's not going to be an average commission salon. So I just want to get that out of the way right there. We're talking about high-end or luxury salons. What led me to this talk today is I had two staff members move up levels. We had an assistant that moved from being a general assistant to a stylist specific assistant. And then we had a stylist to move up from having a general assistant, which a general assistant is someone that services multiple stylists or helps multiple stylists. And a salon specific stylist or assistant is where the stylist has their own assistant. It's dedicated to them. They actually have a column in the books just like the stylist does. And some of the stylist services are on the assistant's books, and some of the stylist services are on their own books. The difference is in a high-end salon, we can start with stability or structure. In a high-end salon, we're going to have a lot of systems for things. Everything is going to be systematized from the way that we do things, but also our systems are for our staff. So our assistants, we have 2 levels of assistants, and our stylists, we have 5 levels of stylists. We have a path for each of those categories. So we're going to have lots of systems. Uh, we're also going to have a super steady flow of clients in a high-end salon, and that's due to many factors. But one is that we have a dedicated marketer that works on our branding and on our advertising or our marketing, and that keeps our client flow up. Uh, for our stylist, I feel like as a commission salon, and this is one of the reasons that I'm not comparing us to an average salon, or I'm not saying that this talk is about an average commission salon, because I believe in a commission salon, you should be able to provide enough clients to build your staff a clientele. Like you need to be able to build them a career, and in a high-end salon, you should be able to do that. Like we have a high client flow, and that's because of our marketing. It's because of many different reasons. Our client flow, like just to give an example, after 3 months of being an assistant in our salon, we start feeding them a color client a day as our goal. And we are a color and extension specialty salon. So that's why we specifically do a color client a day for our assistants. And our goal there is to get them comfortable and to give them some growth with the least amount of fear possible. We want it to not be scary or stressful. So our assistant may have some fears, may have two of the greatest fears. They have fear of the unknown and stage fright. But they don't have to. That would just be because they're not used to standing in front of a client in a real salon, or they don't know like what exactly each thing is going to happen, or the way that each thing is going to happen during the process while the client's there, and that's just experience. But as far as real fears, they have no reason to, because they have a stylist on each side of them that is going to answer any questions that they have. And our stylists were brought up in this teamwork environment also. So they are used to collaboration. That's our culture. And you'll probably hear me say that a few times in this talk. Uh, but they're used to helping. They're used to being helped. They're used to helping others. It's what we're about. So our assistants, when we give them that one client a day, they don't have to worry about anything really, because our stylists are going to be there for them. The converse to that are like, since we do have a great traffic flow, and it's due to our marketing. The In comparison, in a salon suite, your marketing is generally going to be social media, which growth by social media is going to be very slow. The other way that you may grow would be through referrals. And we really value referrals. We love referrals. Referrals to us, though, are not because we need them for our growth, like we do like to grow that way. But referrals for us are our clients saying, hey, you did a great job, and we want to talk about you to other people. So that's why we love referrals. It's not because we need every single person we could get in the salon. But if I told our stylists that you had to grow strictly through referrals or social media, they would probably die or they would feel like they're going to. Another thing is retention. So, retention is not something you think of when you are new in our field, but it's very, very important. And all high end salons are going to track this. And we're going to do all the things necessary to make sure that we have high retention. I did a chat GPT search on the retention of a commission salon versus a suite salon. And for a commission salon, it's 20 to 40% higher. So that made me say, okay, well, let me do a search and see what the average retention rate is for a suite salon. And it was 50%. So 50% retention rate for salons is very low. It's going to make growth very hard. And I can just give you a little scenario. Say this is how they figure retention. Say you do in a 30-day period, a month. Say it was January. You did 100 clients, which is pretty average. It's not great. It's not like a ton of people. It's not like too few people. But you do 100 people, 5 people a day for 20 days, 20 working days. So they take that 100 people and they measure it by saying, okay, in the next 3 months, in the next 90 days, so that'd be February through April, how many people came back? Well, in the suite salons, it was only 50. Only 50 of those clients came back out of the 100 that you did in that 1 month period of time. That means that in those next 3 months, you have to get 50 new clients in your chair just to make the same amount of money. So that's why, and it's very hard. If you're relying on social media and referrals to get 50 new clients, that's going to be extremely difficult. So that's why it's hard to build a clientele in that atmosphere when you don't have a marketer. We have also tons of plans or tons of ways that we work on increasing retention. We have a loyalty program. We have emails that go out to our clients if they forgot to rebook at the front desk. In a week, they get sent an email that said, hey, you haven't rebooked your next appointment. Do you want to rebook? And it makes it very simple for them. Actually, it's an email and a text. We do email and text if they haven't been in a certain amount of days, and then periodically through the year if we haven't seen them, to try and get those customers back in. We even have a membership program. So we have lots of different ways that we work on retention. There's just no comparison for like a suite salon versus a high-end salon in attracting and retaining customers. Now, I would say really even your average hair salon is not going to do the kind of job that a high-end salon would do. So I want to point out that there is a difference there. So what would support be like in our salon? That's a very, very important thing for us. We are a very collaborative, very team-oriented salon. And so typically in a high-end salon, you're going to have a large staff of support people. You're going to have your front desk people. You're going to have a manager. You're going to have fellow stylists. You're going to have assistants. You're even going to have a janitorial crew. So you're going to have lots of people there to support you. Well, I'll give you a scenario like how that support staff helps, just with one person, just like one of those people in that staff. Let's pick the front desk person. because to me, they're like the heart of the salon. They're like our heroes. Truthfully, the front desk is amazing. We love our front desk people. So a client comes in. When the client comes in, the front desk greets them with our branding, greeting, and then they walk them to the little lounge area and they hand them a complimentary drink menu. On that menu, we have wines, we have margaritas, we have mimosas on Saturdays, we have cappuccinos, we have lots of different options. Then they have snacks laid out in front of them, and then the front desk walks the back to the desk and checks the client in on the computer. That notifies the stylist that their client is here. The front desk may go and offer that client a refill on their drink during the service, or if the stylist notices that the client needs a refill, he or she can ask the front desk to refill their drink. When the client is finished with their service, the stylist walks them up, grabs the retail, puts it on the front desk. Our receptionist or front desk then takes over. They help them with their retail products. They can talk to them about their retail products. They help them with their rebooking. They rebook the client for exactly the time and services that the stylist said that they needed. They tell them about our fundraising, how we donate 1% of all the income in our salon to a charity called Youth Villages that helps foster children. And then, last but not least, they'll take the payment from the client. And being in charge of that payment and our pricing system or enforcing our pricing system is very, very important. It's important for a few different reasons. One, stylists who take their own payments oftentimes end up discounting. They end up turning themselves into discount hairstylists. And that's one of the reasons that they can never make the wages or earn the money that you could in a high end salon. Second is it creates pricing inconsistency. And one of the top 5 reasons that clients leave salons is pricing inconsistency. It means that, say, a client came in and you did a balayage on them one time and charged them a certain amount. The next time they came in, you charged them a lesser amount. Then the next time you came in and you charged them an amount in the middle. Well, the value that the client put on that service now is the lowest amount because you did it for that amount and you didn't give them any reason why it was less. You just charged them less because you were uncomfortable charging the right price. That pricing inconsistency loses a lot of clients for salons. And having a front desk person that's in charge of our pricing really, it just makes sure that that doesn't happen. We also have systems for our pricing that makes our pricing go up at least once a year. And we have a system for that. So our clients get notified, hey, your stylist moved up levels. So our pricing is going to be higher the next time you come in. You can see a lower price stylist if you want to keep the same pricing. Or you can stick with your same person. But having that front desk enforce those pricing is super important. One of the best things in our salon, I would say, or in a high-end salon, is going to be your culture and collaboration. Our sharing makes our growth for our stylists and assistants, our whole team, just so much faster. Not only creativity wise, but also technically. Our staff just grows at such a fast pace. Our education for our assistants starts right at the beginning. Our stylists start educating them like immediately. And I would say after 1 year, after a stylist has been doing hair for 1 year on commission in our salon, I would put them up against 90% of the other hairstylists out there. That's how good they are, and that's how fast they grow in our salon. We teach our staff and our stylists how to become champions. Like not just in hair, not just in how to do hair, but in their actions. Because it's not just doing hair that creates a successful stylist, it's the actions that they take that they turn into habits that create success for a stylist. And one of my mentors said the other day, and I love this: if knowledge was what made people wealthy, then librarians would be millionaires. So it's not the knowledge, but it's the actions. We we believe that taking those actions and turning them into habits is what creates success for our stylist. And for me, success is forming the right habits that support you becoming who you want to become. That would be how I personally define success. And for our staff, like our style, like I said, our assistants come in and they start learning automatically. Our stylists start training them automatically. We tell them, and they know that our assistants are not there for cleaning. Like in many salons, like I would say, this is another reason that I'm not using the average commission salon. But in many salons, if they have an assistant, they're going to use them mostly for cleaning. Our assistants are not there for that. Our assistants are there to give our clients better service and to allow our stylists to do more people, but to give a better service than they could even do on a lower volume of people. We really value our assistants, and our stylists appreciate them and respect them for that. Another huge thing for us is the growth opportunities that we provide our stylists. We have 2 levels of assistants. We have 5 levels for our stylists. We create a career path, and it could be up to 10 years or longer for our stylists to reach that to go on that career path. In in most salons, you come in, and maybe you're an assistant and maybe you're a stylist. If you are in a suite, you start and end at the same place. There is no growth path there. Education is like huge for a high-end salon. In our salon in particular, we have quarterly classes. If there's an educator that's going to be very good in the nearby city, then we can send our stylist to that. But we're very picky about it. We do not want to waste their time sending them to a class where they're not going to learn something. And our stylists are very educated already, so it has to be a very good educator. But if there is one in our area, we're definitely going to send our stylist to it. Then once a year, we send our stylists to a hands-on class that is given by one of the top people in the United States for doing hair. And like some of the prerequisites for that is it does have to be hands-on, has to be multi-day, and to give you the seriousness, how serious we take it, if the class is not at least $1,500 just for the ticket, we don't even consider it. We wouldn't even consider a class that costs less than that because the caliber of the class is not up to the standards that we set for our stylists and the education that we want them to get. So, and how that works is since we have such a teamwork oriented culture, when the stylists go to that class and they come back, they perfect the method that they learned in that class, and then they're going to teach for a month or two, and then they'll teach the other stylists in the salon the methods that they used. So all of our stylists are getting all this great education from some of the top people in the industry because of the systems that we have set up. For our pay and benefits, our stylists can earn 3 times what a regular stylist would earn. Our stylists are some of the top paid people in the business because of the systems that we have, the client flow that we have, the since we work with assistants, like specifically our marketing people. There's just many different reasons, but our stylists are paid extremely well, and and I'm very, very proud of that too. Our Also, for pay, our stylist pay is not as volatile as an average salon or a salon suite is going to be. In a salon suite, you're responsible for your bringing in your own clients. So you just have one person trying to bring in the clients. In ours, we have a huge draw of clients, so it's not anything like that. So it makes like our low season, like every business has slow seasons and busy seasons. It makes our low seasons not really that low, and it makes our good seasons like extremely good. So the only volatility we have is that our high seasons are very, very busy, but our low seasons are not that low. So we're very fortunate there. We have a 401k that we offer our stylists or our staff, everybody from the day one that they come in. If they come in and take advantage of it, they they generally start with us in their early 20s. Almost everybody starts with us in their early to mid 20s. If they start in their early 20s and they utilize the system, by the time they're 55, they're going to have over $1 million. Actually, if they start in their early 20s, just on average using history, they would have over $1.5 million in retirement savings. And that's the earliest you can start taking out your retirement. So that's why I picked that date. But we really care about our stylists and our team. And I think that that's part of us showing that to them. Another thing for our stylists is that they only work 40 hours or less a week. Actually, our stylists generally don't work 40 hours a week. So the only time they're working is when they're working, when they're scheduled. And if you were in a suite, then you would be doing your bookkeeping, you would be scheduling appointments, answering phones still so that you would be busy the next week. You're responsible for your cleaning, you have to go get all your supplies. When our stylists are off, they're off. They're Netflixing and chilling, they're hanging out with friends, they're probably having drinks somewhere, but they're not working. So, in closing, I would just like to say I gave this speech or this talk because I really believe in the high-end salon environment. I think it's so good, and I know there are like lots of marketers working for the suites, and you are their clients, or stylists are their clients. Young stylists are their clients, and young stylists generally don't have anybody else talking about another system. So I just wanted to talk about another system for just a little bit, just to paint a different picture and say that hey, there's another system over here, and it's better. It works really well. It's going to be there for you like long term. It builds careers, not just a job. And if you haven't been to a high-end salon to have your hair done, I would highly recommend going to try one out. Go get your hair done. You get the experience. Like, it feels great, and you might learn something from it. Also, after your service, go and talk to them and say you're interested in possibly working there. Like, can you shadow, or could you set up an interview, or some way to talk to them and see if you can get your foot in the door there. High-end salons are it's a breed of its own. It's an awesome opportunity, and I hope you do take the chance to at least go and get serviced by one day. All right, that's it. I hope you gained something from this. Until next time. Hello. I'm practicing a speech. Well, how long are you going to be in here? Because I was just kind of thinking, well, 5 minutes. Do you need to be longer than this? No, just 5 minutes. Okay, I'll send somebody else. Thank you.